Hi, I'm Tom.
And I'm Dom.
And we are Tom and Dom Travel.
We recently took a cruise on Sky Princess for 14 nights and we sailed out of Southampton. We visited a number of ports in France, Portugal and Spain.
Welcome to day 9 of our cruise on board Sky Princess. Today we're in
Cadiz. If you'd like to see what we've got up to on previous days, just click the link on screen now.
Once again, as we're in port today in Cadiz, we wanted to get up pretty early, which we did, and then we headed straight to the buffet for breakfast.
A quick breakfast in the buffet. It was busy because I think everybody else had the same idea as us this morning, to just grab a quick breakfast and then head straight into Cadiz.
So after our quick breakfast, we headed straight off the ship. It was very easy to get off the ship into port today, and when we got off the ship we were straight into Cadiz's town.
Yeah, it's a small port and it was a very short walk straight out of the terminal, out of the port and literally onto the main street of Cadiz.
What was really apparent as soon as we entered Cadiz is that it was full of history. You could tell the streets had that medieval feel to them, and they were narrow, they were cobbled in some places, the buildings were quite high, towering above us. It had really that medieval Spanish, traditional Spanish feel.
Absolutely. The streets were so narrow that it made it quite difficult for cars to get up and down, including taxis, and when you sort of combine that with the number of tourists that were walking round, it was quite a challenging experience. Once again, myself and Tom got off the ship independently. We hadn't booked any excursions, and we obviously did a little bit of research the night before just to try and pick out the key sort of places and destinations that we wanted to see. After navigating the cobbled streets of Cadiz, we ended up in a really beautiful square with lots of sort of tourist attractions and a big church that overlooked the square, which was truly beautiful.
Yeah, so we decided, because it was actually quite hot at this point, to have a look into the church. The church was fantastic when we got inside. It was absolutely huge, with huge tall ceilings, and what we could see was they're setting up ready for Easter parades that were going on throughout Cadiz today.
And it was nice to get out, get in and out, to get out of the sun in the shade of the church.
What we wanted to do was wander through the streets for a little while, so that's what we did. Every street in Cadiz looks very similar.
Exactly the same.
So it's quite hard to work out which way you are going. So again, as we've done previously, we used our phones on handy Google Maps to find our way around.
As well as the free map that they gave out at the port.
On our way walking through Cadiz, we did walk past Tavira Tower, which is a popular tourist attraction. I think it was built in the 18th century and it is one of the highest spots in Cadiz. It's roughly about €7 per person to go in there, but you do have to pre-book. We hadn't realised this until we got there, so we just continued on past, but there was quite a queue outside to head into the tower.
After exploring the centre of Cadiz, we decided to make our way to the beach, and it was quite an interesting walk because of the sort of winding narrow streets, but also because a lot of the streets have got fruit trees growing just
along the street.
Yeah. It was oranges, lemons, really, really interesting.
Yeah, beautiful smelling trees as well, and you could see where some of the fruits had dropped from the trees, so it was actually very pleasant to walk along those streets.
On our way to the beach, we passed an ancient Spanish fort.
Yes, yeah, right next to the beach really. It sticks out from the beach area, doesn't it? So we kind of got diverted and headed to have a look at this fort before we went to sit on the beach.
The fort includes a museum and historical information regarding its purpose, and it was really quite interesting to have a look around and see how sort of the Spanish military used to work and occupy the fort.
Yeah, it was actually really worth going by, and there were some nice cool rooms and spots in that fort as well to cool off, so good stopping point if it is a hot day for you.
And it was absolutely free.
Free to get in. So,
and the public toilets are also located in there as well.
Which we took advantage of.
Which we both did.
Okay, so after our visit to the castle fort area, which was right next to the beach, we decided to actually go on to the beach and sit there for an hour or two, didn't we? So we had brought a towel to sit on and a couple of drinks, so we spent a lovely few hours on the beach. It wasn't too busy at all. Majority of people on there seemed to be locals, enjoying themselves.
A really interesting fact that we found out was that the James Bond film Casino Royale, one of the locations was this beach in Cadiz, and it was the famous scene where he comes out of the water.
Yes, that one that everyone thinks about when they think of Daniel Craig. This was the beach.
After a few hours on the beach, topping up our tan, we decided to make our way back into town to grab something to eat.
Okay, as we've done our walk along the outside of Cadiz and headed back in towards the centre of town, we came across some interesting Easter parades.
It was, we heard the commotion and all the goings on, so we had to go and investigate, and we found out that it was this massive Easter parade because it was Easter Sunday.
It was Easter Sunday, and they had floats and bands and
people dressed up, music, really, really good little event.
So we just tried to catch as much of it as we could because we were at the back by this point, because obviously we didn't know it was going ahead. But as we then continued to walk around Cadiz, you could see some of the signs that a parade was going to take place or had taken place, as there were barriers and seating set up in one of the squares that we later came to.
As we were now in the centre of Cadiz and we were both quite hungry, we did have a quick look at just stopping off at a local restaurant or bar and grabbing ourselves a little authentic tapas or two. However,
well, we went to probably about 5 or 6 bars, and everyone, the owners or whoever was in charge of the bar, said no, fully booked.
Because of Easter Sunday.
I think all the locals had already got it there way before us.
So after trying to get ourselves in to try some authentic Spanish tapas, unfortunately
we did the opposite, and we went to the old faithful McDonald's.
Sorry.
It was our only option, and we were really thirsty as well by then, and we just wanted a cold drink with some ice in, really. So in we went into McDonald's to order a drink, and
we did try a Spanish McDonald's
something
speciality
that you can't get in the UK, which is
compromise
potato wedges
with bacon and cheese.
With bacon and cheese again. Oh no! But we only had one portion between us.
We did. We shared
just to try it, and it was very nice. But just it wasn't our first choice.
No. Cadiz is a really ancient port city, and it's got a lot of history and a lot of things to go visit and see.
Yeah, so I really wanted to go and see the amphitheatre there, so all the way back to the Roman times, and see what history that had to offer.
As it was only a short walk from McDonald's, we decided to head up and have a look.
Yeah, so we got there and it was closed. Another effect of Easter Sunday in Cadiz was that wasn't open, so we took a few pictures from this narrow street where we could get a quick glimpse
through the fence.
And
we definitely go and see it again if
we would
in
want
Cadiz.
to go and see it and have a proper walk around. But never mind, we still got to see most of Cadiz. We enjoyed some time on the beach and we thought now's a good time to head back to the ship.
It was a glorious day in Cadiz. When we got back onto Sky Princess, we went back to the room, grabbed our towels and sun lotion and headed straight up to the Lido deck to find a spare sunbed. Fortunately, there were two on deck 17 next to the hot tub.
Next to the hot tub, yeah, so lovely location really. Out to the way from too much commotion going on, so we had a couple of hours where we chilled by the hot tub there. It is worth talking a little bit about the hot tubs on board. Now, Sky Princess has 8 hot tubs which you can access, so plenty of opportunity to use one of the hot tubs. But the best ones to use are the ones just out the way on deck 17, not those in the immediate pool area, because they always tend to be the busiest.
Yeah, there are some just hidden just down towards the after the ship on deck 17 before you get to the gym.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful spot, especially if the sun's shining.
Okay, so after a few hours in the sun and a couple of dips in the hot tub, we decided it was time to head back to the room. But first we popped down to the International Cafe and got ourselves a quick coffee and a couple of cookies.
We took our coffees and our cookies back to our cabin stateroom and got ready for the evening.
Yes, so this evening
it was an optional formal night.
But what we did do, we didn't go to the main dining room this time. We went to
CROWN GRILL.
CROWN GRILL, so something a bit different for us, but definitely a treat.
Definitely a treat. However, by the time we'd booked, there was only, I think, 9:30 appointment left for the CROWN GRILL.
Yeah.
So definitely recommend to book your speciality restaurants if you intend to use them as soon as you can, because they do fill up, especially the CROWN GRILL.
Yeah, so because our booking at the CROWN GRILL was going to be later on in the evening, what we did decide to do is spend a bit of time, first of all, at the Wakeview bar. So we had a couple of gin and tonics and enjoyed the evening's view.
After the sail away from Cadiz and just sat at the Wakeview bar, had a few drinks, we then made our way to the Princess Theatre. This evening's entertainment was the wonderful Paul Adams. Paul Adams was another comedian that Princess had put on for our evening's entertainment. It was a bit of a mixed bag. Some people really loved him, other people found him not very funny at all.
It's one of those things with comedy, and I always think comedy is a dangerous thing to put on a cruise ship because everyone has different tastes, and until you get into the theatre and sit down and then understand what that person's type of comedy is, you don't really know what you're letting yourself in for. So comedy can be really hit and miss on a cruise.
And tonight it was. After the show, it was then time for us to make our booking at the CROWN GRILL.
Yes, so time for that CROWN GRILL experience that we were talking about just a few minutes ago. And we arrived at the CROWN GRILL bar first, didn't we? And they were ready to seat us straight away.
This was the first time that we've ever had a CROWN GRILL experience, and we were genuinely really looking forward to it. Everybody we'd spoken to during the cruise had all highly recommended the experience.
Yes, so we got in there and we sat at a table right at the back of the restaurant, really, by the entrance to the kitchens, but next to a window, so we had a beautiful view.
The Crown Grill, I've got a really nice extensive menu, and essentially it was 4 courses for us to enjoy.
Yeah, it was.
For my starter, I had the hand-cut beef fillet tartare with fried quail egg and polenta sticks.
Yes, and I had garlic bread first of all, and then the black and blue French onion soup. Now, I did not eat all of the French onion soup, although it was very nice. I found it very heavy, and I think if I would have finished that, I probably would not have been able to eat the rest of my meal, so I was very conscious of that, but it was nice.
So my starter was nice, but I'm not a fan of raw meat. But it was tasty.
Yeah.
And then for my salad, I had the marinated goat's cheese and tomato salad with beets. And again, I enjoy cheese, I enjoy goat's cheese, and the mix between the beets and the goat's cheese was really, really nice.
Okay, for our main meals, I had the filet mignon, which was a beautiful, beautiful piece of steak. Really, really enjoyed that.
And I had to go for the porterhouse, 22 ounces. And it was beautiful, had a piece of sirloin attached as well as a bit of fillet. So best of both worlds. And it was cooked beautifully.
Yes, so what you can do with your main meal, you order your sides separately. So we had asparagus, we had mushrooms, and a portion of fries. The special thing that they do in the Crown Grill restaurant is they give you a selection of salts at the side of the plate, which you can then add yourself on top of your steaks.
So after our 3 courses, it was now time for dessert.
Yeah, my favourite part of the meal. I had the triple chocolate treasure cake, which was beautiful. Really enjoyed that.
And I had the warm chocolate trifle with grapefruit segments. It was absolutely stunning.
Yeah, yours was huge though, wasn't it? It
Yeah,
came in like a little fish bowl type thing. So
it was beautiful.
yeah, you definitely had to squeeze that in at the end, didn't you?
We paid $29 per person for our Crown Grill meal. The food was good. The only criticism I would have was that I just feel that their starters and salads and soups were a bit limited. There was quite a bit of fish on there for starters and for the
you're
soups.
not a fan of, are you?
I'm not a fish fan, so it was a bit limiting for me.
Yes, and the only other criticism we would get is that the particular time we were in there, which was later in the evening, we felt the staff were winding down, so they were packing up around us, cleaning down the tables and things, and they weren't quite attentive to us, were they? We did feel like towards the end we were a bit in their way.
Yeah, they were sort of rushing us along. So would we go there again?
Probably would.
Yeah,
Probably would go there again, but
We'd book earlier.
we'd book earlier.
And the only way to do that is if you book as soon as you get on board, because those spaces do fill up.
Do fill up.
So with our bellies full, we thought we'd walk it off. So we made our way out onto the promenade on deck 7, just to have a look at the beautiful sail away and the sea and the moon. It was really, really gorgeous, clear night.
Yeah, I think we needed a little bit of a walk out in the fresh air after all that food, and that's exactly what we did.
After a bit of fresh air then, it was time to head to Princess Live.
Yeah, Princess Live once again, and as usual, there was another game show on.
Tonight it was first word, last word.
Yes, so for this game show, they did ask for audience participation. They didn't ask all the members of audience because somebody got dragged up, probably a little bit against their will.
Dragged? He ran up. Any volunteers? He was gone.
No. So in this game that they got me to join in it was a bit like word association, where they'd give you a set word at the top of the board, a set word at the bottom, and you've got to link these words together to get down the board or up the board. You could choose whether you started from the top or the bottom.
by only changing one letter. So it was quite good.
Quite good. And everybody in the room joined in and got involved. So once again, good atmosphere in Princess Live.
After Princess Live had finished, we decided that we weren't ready to say goodnight, and we made our way to Vista Lounge for a few drinks.
Yeah, a few drinks. What was lovely by this stage in the cruise, we've got to know a few other passengers. So we all joined together for a bit of a chat and a few more drinks and enjoyed our evening, didn't we?
Yeah. After getting kicked out of Vista Lounge because we'd spent the night there, fortunately the International Cafe was still open, so we decided to make our way down there and get some food.
It was about 2 a.m. He's making it out like it was 7 a.m.
They turned all the lights off.
On.
Off. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so International Cafe is where we headed to next.
We both had some ham and cheese croissants because we've become particularly fond of those from the International Cafe.
Yeah.
Very tasty, nice and hot, and some decaf coffee, some water because we were definitely going to need it.
Yeah, we took a few bottles of water up to the room with us, which you can collect from International Cafe.
For free if you're on Princess Plus.
Yeah, if you're on the Plus package, remember all those coffees, teas, lattes, cappuccinos, hot chocolates, all that is included in the package, and you can get them any time of day, 24 hours a day from International Cafe.
Even at 2 a.m.
Even at 2 a.m. So after our 2 a.m. stint at International Cafe, we headed straight to bed.
Yeah. Thanks for watching day 9 and our adventures in Cadiz.
Join us for day 10. Can you believe it? Day 10 already, where we'll be in Malaga.
Thanks for watching. As always, if you've got any comments or questions, just pop them in the box below.
And don't forget to please like and subscribe. We really appreciate them.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to check us out on social media.